ねえ、朝、
Mhm.
この間初対面の外国の人とお話ししたんだけど、
Mhm.
共通点が何か分からなくて、なんか話が続かなかった。
聞いて朝、
うん
この間初対面で外国人とお話ししたんだけど、
Mhm.
なんか何を言ったらいいかとか全く分かんなくて、
Mm.
話ができなかったんだ。
I understand that. Yeah. You know, having a first-time conversation, especially in English, can be really difficult.
うん、
You can't find things in common with them. You don't know what to talk about. But don't worry, actually. I found that there's a simple pattern you can follow to have a great first-time conversation with anyone. 皆さん、こんにちは。Uconnect の朝です。
のりこです。
すずです。
今回は外国人との初対面の会話のやり方を学びましょう。So Noriko, what is difficult for you when you have first-time conversations with foreigners in English?
初めて会う人なので、何か共通の話題があるかなっていうのが分からなくて、話が続かなかったんです。
Yeah, I understand those feelings. Like I said, you know, when you want to have a first-time conversation, it's really hard to find things in common. But then I realized that there are actually two things that you need to have a good conversation with anyone anytime, no matter what. So Suzu, tell me, what's difficult for you about having a first-time conversation?
外国人と話すときになんか失礼なことを言っちゃうんじゃないかとかを気にしちゃいます。
I really understand those feelings because for me, when I was talking with Japanese people for the first time, well, actually, even with other Americans for the first time, I was always worried I would say something strange or the conversation would not be so good. You don't know these people. You don't want them to think you're strange. You don't want them to think you're a 30-year-old lonely guy who just ran away to Japan to escape his fears.
Asa, are you okay?
Yeah, but here's the thing. First-time conversations are actually easier than conversations with friends.
いや、友達の方が話しやすいと思う。
I understand that, but let's think about this, right? So actually, when you have a first-time conversation with someone, you tend to talk about the same topics each time. And if you follow those topics, well, you can guess how the conversation will go. But with a friend, when you're talking, you always have to talk about different things. And sometimes you don't know what to talk about, right? So for me, one of the big things about having a first-time conversation and getting used to it was realizing I don't have to think of something interesting to say. I can just say the same thing every time. It's new for the other person, but it's good practice for me. To have a good first-time conversation, you really only need to do two things. One, you need to be interested in the other person.
でも相手がめっちゃつまんなかったらどうする？
I'm glad you said that. So at the beginning, they may seem kind of boring, but if you dig deeper a little bit, you'll find some really interesting things. So when I'm talking with someone and I want to get along with them and I think, oh, this conversation's really boring, I realize I just need to dig a little bit deeper. And if you have that interest in the other person, believing that they have something interesting in them. So the first step is to have interest in the other person, is to be interested in them.
なんか自分と違いすぎる感じで何を聞いたらいいかわからない。
Right. Well, let me tell you this. So one thing is, you know, everybody is unique, but we're all the same human. We all have some things in common. We all want to have a good life. We want to follow our dreams. We want to be happy. And so no matter who you're talking with, you have something in common with them. If you feel like you have nothing in common, it's because you haven't dug deep enough. You haven't talked with them enough. Number two, if you follow a basic pattern of questions, you'll find that interesting point with them. All right, so Suzu, let's talk about those topics. So first, I want to ask you, what do you normally talk about in a first-time conversation?
How old are you? とか、Where are you from?
Okay.
Huh?
Anything else? 他に?
That's all.
Oh, really? You say, hi, how old are you? Where are you from? Bye-bye.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you're a little bit strange. So, Noriko, when you have a first-time conversation with a foreigner in English, what topics do you talk about?
名前教えてもらえますかって言って、出身地とか今住んでいるところとか、もし聞けそうだったら家族のこととかですかね。
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so I actually don't ask about family very much. Actually, what I recommend when you talk with someone for the first time is to talk about topics that you normally say in a self-introduction, 自己紹介. So in Japan, there's this culture of doing a 自己紹介 in front of everybody. Everybody has their 自己紹介 time, but you don't normally do that abroad. Like, other than in Japanese situations, I don't think I've ever formally introduced myself before. So actually, what native speakers do in other countries is 自己紹介し合いながら会話をする. So instead of I share my information, you share your information. I ask you a question, you ask me a question. I ask you a question, you ask me a question. So we'll take those topics in your 自己紹介 and we'll make them into a conversation. I call this リアル自己紹介. リアルで会話しながら自己紹介するから. So let me ask you, Suzu, what do you normally talk about in your self-introductions in Japanese?
お名前、年齢、趣味、終わり。
Yeah, I mean, so normally, especially with foreigners, I think the safest pattern to go is to ask their name, where they're from. If you ask where they're living now, it's kind of too personal.
Oh,
Then talk about their work, and then talk about their hobbies.
Your job?
Yeah, you talk about your job.
うん
Yeah, maybe not in Japan, but in the States especially, people say, what's your name? And then the next question is about their job. I know, it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
So, Noriko, how do you ask someone where they're from?
where are you from?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's simple, I know.
Oh,
You can also say, where's home for you?
where's home?
Where's home for you? Yeah, so where's home for you is a little bit more personal and it shows more interest in the other person because home is more not just where you live, but it's where you feel comfortable.
Ah, I see.
So when you say, where's home for you? The other person thinks, oh, Noriko is interested in me. I want to talk with her more. So where's home for you is good because for someone like me who's traveled around,
あ
I don't really have a hometown, but I have a place where I feel comfortable.
ー、うんうん
Okay, so Suzu, please ask me, where's home for you? Let's practice.
Where is home for you?
Japan. I know, it's confusing, but yeah, I mean, I was born in Germany, grew up in Boston, went to Seattle, now I'm in Japan. I don't know. I feel comfortable here. Yeah.
え、ホームはお家ってこ
いや、お家っていう、なんか居心地いい自分の居場所っていう意味
と？
です。When someone asks you, where are you from, Noriko, what do you say?
I'm from Japan.
Yeah, if you're Japanese, everybody knows you're from Japan though. Yeah, actually, this happens a lot, actually. So me and I know a lot of other foreigners who, they have a first-time conversation in Japan with a Japanese person and they say, where are you from? And the other person says, Japan. And they're like, yeah, I know, but where in Japan?
I'm from Saitama.
Yeah, exactly. So, Noriko, ask me, where are you from?
Sir, where are you from?
I'm from not Japan. See, it's kind of like that, you know?
I know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now let's say someone asks you where you're from. How do you respond to that? What do you say?
Japan.
Yeah, you can say the country or I'm from Japan.
うん
Another thing you can say is I'm from a town called Doko in Japan.
I'm from
A town
a town
called,
called
then your town.
Tokyo.
Well, Tokyo is not a town. Tokyo is a really big
so-ka.
city. So you can say, for example, I'm from a town called Salem in America.
うん。
So now you try it.
I'm from a town called Iwaki
Great. In?
in 福島.
There you go.
Ah,
One more time.
I'm from a town called Iwaki in Fukushima.
Great. All right, so the next topic is your job. So how do you ask about someone's job in English?
What do your job?
Well, you could say, what is your job?
What is your job?
Yeah, but that's a little bit stiff, you know? A lot of people, especially Americans, just say, what do you do? 日常的にやってることなんで
Yes.
What
What
do
do
you-
you do?
What do you do? So let me ask you, Noriko, what do you do?
I'm teaching calligraphy.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you tell your job, you can say, that action, I teach calligraphy, I am teaching calligraphy. Or you can say, I'm a calligraphy teacher.
I'm a calligraphy teacher.
Right. Okay, so let's practice. Please ask me my job.
Arthur, what are you doing?
No, what do you do? What are you doing? It's like, お前今何やってんの? Grammar is similar, completely different.
Hi, Arthur. What do you do?
I'm a spaceman. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm an English teacher. If you want to be more clear, you can say, what do you do for work?
What do you do for work?
Exactly. And then when you want to share your job, when you want to share your work, you can say, I am a shokugyo, like that. But in your case, you're a student, so it's not going to work, right?
No, I'm not a student.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. Can we cut that out? Wait. So then what do you do for work?
I'm a waitress.
Okay, cool.
By the way, Arthur, what do you do for work?
I don't have a job. I'm just kidding. I work for myself. Now, the final topic is about hobbies. So how do you ask someone their hobbies in English?
What is your hobby?
Yeah, so you can ask that just like, what is your job? But that's also kind of katakurushi, kind of a stiff way to say it. So instead, I recommend you say, what do you do for fun?
What do you do for fun?
Right. 日常的にやることが仕事で、日常的に楽しむために日常的にやることが趣味。Like that. So you can ask me.
Arthur, what do you do for fun?
Nothing. I don't have any hobbies. I'm really boring.
Oh, it's okay.
All right, let me ask you, Noriko, what do you do for fun?
Recently, I like walking.
Great.
Yeah.
To respond to that, you can say, I like to, or I like, and then that activity. So for example, what do you do for fun? I like jogging. All right, so you please ask me.
What do you do for fun?
I like skydiving. No, actually, I'm very scared of heights. I'm Koso Kyofusho.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm never gonna skydive ever in my life. It's too scary.
I like skydiving.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, when did you go?
I've never.
You never been? Oh, come on, you're lying. All right, so now, Suzu, we've learned the basics about first-time conversations, but you know, if you don't use what you learn, you're not going to be able to really be able to use it. You have to use it, and so please, use what you've learned today with your Talk Pals. Now, to help you in our Sekai to Tsunagaru movement Kain area, we have a Hatsuon Renshu and we have Jisen Kadai to help you take what you learned and talk with people, so you can find that in that area. So now let's review what we've learned. 1. The most important thing to do is to be interested in the other person. 2. And the way to do that is to realize that they're the same human as you. They're unique. They have interesting points. 3. When you talk, try to focus on the same topics each time. Where they're from, what their job is, what are their hobbies. All right, so Suzu, in this lesson, we've just looked at a basic overview of first-time conversations. In the next video, we're going to start looking at each topic in more detail. And the next video is?
仕事の話.
Exactly. So if you guys want to see that and not miss it, make sure you subscribe and push the bell icon. All right, Suzu, this was great, and I'll see you in the next lesson. 一緒に世界とつながりましょう。今回は外国人とThis is great. So by the way, 特になんか下品な教育受けてないアメリカ人の男性はよくやったって言いたいときにこうやる。これなんか皆さんに見せたくないアメリカの習慣です。